What would you need to put the biggest fight on? You want to know where this is coming from? The story that Conor McGregor is being talked to headline the White House card. I don't buy it. I can't buy it.
We're literally going to take over Washington, D.C. that week. We're going to do the weigh-ins there. We're going to have fan events.
At the Lincoln Memorial.
That's what we're talking about, yeah.
Something massive just dropped. Khamzat Chimaev hinted he might be on the historic White House UFC card, sending shockwaves through the MMA world. This could change everything about this event. Dana White revealed how this White House idea started. It wasn't his idea. Someone suggested it during a White House tour. The president wanted exciting events beyond Easter egg hunts and concerts. That's how the UFC White House fight was born.
He brought it up to me. You know, when you walk around the White House with him, like when he walked Bill Maher, and I've seen him walk many people through the White House, he's so proud of the White House and he loves it so much, and you know, he loves America. So he believes that the White House belongs to the people of America. And he wants to do more things like kids coming in at Easter, doing Easter egg hunts and
awesome.
Things around Christmas and special events. I guess Obama one time had Elton John play on the South Lawn. You know, they've done some stuff like that, but
Dana White didn't just confirm rumors. He went all in. He said the White House fight is 100% locked in and wants to create the greatest UFC card in history. It'll be shown live and free on CBS.
Anybody was invited, but that's his thing. He wants to bring more Americans to the White House to experience the White House, and
so cool.
His thing is, this is your house. So, yeah, I was lucky that he said we should do a fight here.
So it's happening. It's like actually 100% happening.
Absolutely happening.
How do you decide the headliner?
You know, what I want to do is build.
Daniel Cormier jumped in with his take on potential matchups. DC focused on Conor McGregor versus Michael Chandler, explaining why Chandler would be perfect for this historic event. But DC revealed concerns. He said, "But then I hear Conor McGregor is going to fight against Michael Chandler as one of the fights. I've spoken about Michael Chandler versus Conor McGregor for so long because it was supposed to happen 2 years ago." Further, he said, "Conor McGregor has been kind of pulling our chain, leading us along as if he's going to come back when it doesn't feel like he has any intention of truly coming back and fighting in the UFC. If he does, Michael Chandler would be the opponent." Here's the twist. DC has doubts about whether Chandler would actually take the fight. He added, "I was speaking to Sean Shelby the other day at UFC, and one of the younger guys had called out Michael Chandler. I said to Sean, I don't think Chandler would do it." Right after Dana's announcement, Khamzat Chimaev stirred things up. His tweet about fighting on the White House lawn exploded across social media. Here's what makes it suspicious. Weeks before this tweet, reporters asked Khamzat about White House fight rumors. He played it cool but hinted at new opportunities with the current administration. Was he already in secret talks?
It wasn't my fault, you know. I didn't have everyone knows I didn't have the visa to US. That's why I didn't fought only once in Abu Dhabi. So now Donald Trump here, so we go for a fight.
Everyone's talking about that White House fight, the White House card next year.
Bro, look at my face. I don't think so. They may let me come over there, bro.
Chael Sonnen stepped in with reality checks. Big UFC events need more than famous names. They need proper planning, real stakes, and storylines. His comment seemed aimed at all the White House speculation.
What would you need to put the biggest fight on? You want to know where this is coming from? The story that Conor McGregor is being talked to headline the White House card. I don't buy it. I can't buy it. Why are we would be turning to Conor McGregor? And the answer is also out there, because he is the sport's biggest star. That is true. So is that what you need? If you've got the open checkbook and you've got the magic wand, without saying names, do you say, I'm going to put as my main event the sport's biggest star? Is that your answer?
Sonnen asked a brutal question. Is having the biggest MMA star enough to make this White House card legendary? His answer? Even the most popular fighter can't save a poorly planned event. This was clearly about Conor McGregor rumors.
Does it matter who he's fighting? What if it's a championship match? If you have an open checkbook and you have a magic wand and you don't use any names, but you're going to put the championship on, Would you say heavyweight? Would you say women's 135? Would you say wherever Khamzat Chimaev's at? Like, how is it that you would answer that question? And then what if you're really going to go for a big fight? What if you really follow this for a long time? You're going to do what we used to call a super fight, but now we call it title versus title. You're going to take the champion of a weight class and you're going to put them with another champion of a weight class. Your A side and your B side are both going to be champions. You don't get to use names, but that's the ingredients you need to bring the biggest card ever. And it's one of the reasons that I'm struggling with the idea that McGregor is being penciled in the middle of 2025 for...
Then Sonnen dropped knowledge about championship fights. He said the main event should feature the biggest draw possible regardless of belts. This connects directly to Khamzat's hints and shows smart planning could make or break this event.
That sits dead center in the middle of 2026 at a venue yet to be built for tickets that are yet to be on sale. I struggle with it because we're openly saying if we're going to put Conor on there that there's no title unless you believe that Conor McGregor is going to demote himself, right? The biggest draw should be the main event. Your biggest star, regardless of belt, should be the main event.
Michael Chandler heard this talk and responded. For him, this isn't just another fight, it's a chance to make history. He explained why his unfinished business with Conor could be perfect for this massive stage.
I think, obviously that's a fight that I want. I want the White House. First and foremost, I want the White House. Ideally, if it becomes Conor, that would be awesome. Obviously we have some animosity or some unfinished business. Once again, I just said there's not really animosity. I got respect for him. He's got respect for me, but we do have an unfinished business. And he has, expressed interest. When he put out that meme of me and him, I guess you could call it a meme. It was AI. It was me and him. He's called me out on Twitter and said we have unfinished business, and we do. We have unfinished business. We would be the only fighters not to fight after the Ultimate Fighter who were in the same weight class. And Conor and I, it makes sense.
Chandler made a bold claim about why he deserves this White House spot. The UFC doesn't just need star power, they need reliable fighters. He emphasized that he shows up, makes weight, and guarantees the fight happens no matter what.
I did my job. I signed on the dotted line. I've still never pulled out of a fight, never missed weight. The most important thing about this White House card, and whether I am a shoe-in for it or not, when you're building a card of this magnitude, it's not necessarily even about putting on the best fight. It's about putting on the best fights that are the most reliable. Which fighters and which matchups, which marquee contests are going to happen on the White House lawn that have an almost virtual certainty of actually happening. In this crazy sport, there are no guarantees, but I'm about as sure as a guarantee as you possibly could be. Like I said, never missed weight, never pull out of a fight. And if I can walk to the octagon, if I can physically make it to the octagon, I'm showing up. That cage, that octagon door is closing.
Dana White shared behind-the-scenes details about the actual logistics. The challenges are massive. Space limits, octagon weight. But Dana has big plans. Grand Arch, special lighting to capture the White House and Washington Monument on camera.
How much the lawn can hold, as far as weight. The octagon itself weighs 15,000 pounds. So we don't know. We're still working it out. And my vision for this thing is we have this big arch, as you can see, with the lighting grid, because what I want is the White House in the back. And then when you shoot, when the fight goes around to the other side, you'll see the Washington Monument. At first he put Ivanka in charge of handling this thing and putting it together. And when we sent the plans over to Ivanka, she said, "Dana, you do not mess around."
I'll say.
Then Dana revealed something unexpected. While many top names reached out, he only wants fighters he can trust completely. He mentioned Jon Jones contacted him about the White House fight, but Dana's response suggests reliability concerns.
Jon Jones called you, and he apologized. What was that conversation like?
Well, it wasn't a conversation. He reached out. He wrote, like a text, saying, "Listen, sorry how this all played out," or whatever. I want to fight at the White House. I'm serious about that, and just one of those type of.
Has that changed your view?
No.
No, not at all.
No.
So there's no chance he's going to be on the White
I
House
appreciate it. I appreciate him reaching out and doing that, but I need people I can count on for this fight, and I know who they are. I know who they are not.
Ariel Helwani provided crucial context about Jon Jones. He explained Jones's recent apology and revealed details about the money Jones requested, plus his back-and-forth decisions about fighting Tom Aspinall.
Well said.
And so Dana White revealing that Jon Jones apologized to him, to me, is extremely telling. What is he apologizing for? I'll tell you what he's apologizing for, as I've said multiple times, and by the way, has not been refuted by anyone. At this point, you'd think someone, if it wasn't true, would have refuted it. Jon Jones wanted a lot of money. The number that I was told was $30 million. The UFC said no, then they said yes, then they got the money. They said, we got you the money, let's go, you versus Tom Aspinall. He said he was in, took a few days, said he was out. I've told this story a million times now. No one has refuted it. By now, you hopefully believe me. And Dana White alluded to this when he made the announcement that Jon Jones had retired and they were stripping him of the belt, or he was vacating the title, whatever semantic you want to go with, and Tom Aspinall was now the new champ.
But here's the Conor McGregor situation. Helwani revealed McGregor expressed interest in this White House event. Even more surprising, Dana White is open to including him once the card takes shape. Helwani emphasized McGregor's reliability, giving him an advantage over other fighters.
Made it clear I want to do this, and you know, he sent me a text apologizing and all that stuff. But I need people that I can seriously rely on for this one. You know, and people talk shit about Conor. I'm telling you, I've been in the fucking trenches with Conor. Conor is a guy that has fought injured. Conor is a guy that a fighter has fallen out. And
Dana White clarified which fighters he can count on for this White House card. He stressed commitment and readiness for such a historic event. Dana specifically mentioned Conor McGregor, praising his toughness and willingness to fight anyone under any circumstances.
I'm finding us in that situation right now. A real life, present time dojo storm into the UFC heavyweight division by Jon Jones. Jon is not back training for one. Jon says that he's back training. Jon does not want to fight Tom Aspinall, according to Jon. My only evidence to make that statement is that Jon was offered a fight with Tom Aspinall, and Jon said no. Now, if they get to the White House...
Chael Sonnen analyzed Jon Jones's current situation. He talked about Jones's training status and reluctance to face Tom Aspinall. According to Sonnen, this White House opportunity might be exactly what Jones needs to finally return.
Is there a scenario where Jon's opponent is not Tom? And I don't know that if you say, yeah, Tom might lose to Surreal, I don't know that it changes my question. It would seem as though if there's a boogeyman in that division and no amount of money, and Madison Square Garden itself and the O2 Arena itself were not seductive enough to bring you back, but a one-off show in the nation's capital, done outside, possibly in the rain, that's just the one you're looking for. All right.
Sonnen explored different scenarios for Jones's potential return. He suggested this special White House event could be the unique opportunity that finally convinces Jones to compete again, despite turning down other fights.
But it doesn't have to be a championship match. As a matter of fact, let me back off from that. Can it be a championship match? Whether it's Surreal or Tom, whatever's going on in the division at that point, can it be just anybody, or does it have to be Tom? And if it is Tom, and Tom is champion, you now have a world title main event at the White House. Something very special, something very unique, but it would come back to the essence of the Gracie Challenge, which is no matter how good you are. And we're going to find that out in just a moment. We're going to find that out publicly in just a moment.
But Dana revealed timeline challenges. Even though Conor appears ready and committed, proper preparation takes time. Planning this White House card requires months of preparation, and Dana wants every fighter completely ready.
He slid in a stylistically bad matchup for him. He doesn't care. He literally will fight anybody.
But does he care enough to actually make a fight right now? Like, is he actually, when's the last time he fought? It's been,
he and I have been talking nonstop. And he's like, I'm dead serious. I want this. You know, I'm training. I'm back in the pool. I'm doing all the shit. So we'll see. As we still got a long way to go. We still got a long way to go till February, till we start making this card. So we'll see how it plays out. And everybody always equates my, whether I like somebody or not to money. We make money. We're gonna make money.
The UFC is building toward the most talked about event in combat sports history. Khamzat Chimaev dropping mysterious hints, Conor McGregor possibly returning, and Jon Jones having a chance to headline on the biggest stage. The stakes have never been higher. With the White House and Washington Monument as backdrop, this event could either make history or become the biggest disappointment ever. Fans are wondering which fighters will step up and what the final matchups will look like. Which fighter deserves to headline this historic White House card? And what matchup would get you most excited? Let us know.